Well, the United States has deployed dozens of ground troops in Syria, claiming they will assist Kurdish forces in their battle against Daesh terrorists. The so-called Syrian Observatory for Human Rights said 30 US soldiers arrived in the northern city of Kobani over the past 2 days. The troops will allegedly help plan offensives against the Takfiris in the 2 Syrian cities of Jarablus and Raqqah. Kurdish sources also announced that some 20 US soldiers arrived in Hasakeh province in eastern Syria. Back in October, the White House said several dozen special operations troops would be dispatched to Syria for the first open-ended mission by US ground forces there. The presence of US troops on the ground in Syria lacks any mandate from the Syrian government. Damascus says it's a violation of its sovereignty. Well, joining us from Phoenix via Skype is Mike Harris. He's the editor of Veterans Today. Mike, thank you very much for joining us here on Press TV. Looks like the United States is playing both ends against the middle and expecting to win. Or is it actually trying to seek an endless conflict in the Middle East, which ultimately gives Daesh the upper hand?
Well, it is my opinion that the U.S. has been trying to establish a open-ended conflict there with no end in sight. And this is a foreign policy disaster for the United States. Absolute foreign policy disaster. The U.S. is in no position to go out and engage in another war in the Middle East. We're still licking our wounds from Iraq and Afghanistan, and the U.S. military is not in shape to do this. And this is merely the nose of the camel coming into the tent.
Well, do you think America's troop deployment is going to help the situation in Syria? And are the intentions genuine?
No, I think no to both. It's not going to help the situation in Syria. If the U.S. wanted to help Syria, the Syrian government has opened channels to the U.S. government saying, look, if you wish to cooperate with us, we would like to coordinate and work together. I've been in Syria. I've met with government officials. I know what the official Syrian position is on this. The U.S. government has said, no, thank you. The U.S. government does not wish to engage with the Syrian government in a sincere effort to rout out the terrorist organization. And that's because there are elements within the U.S. that are backing the terrorist. And it appears that the U.S. it appears we have a new commander-in-chief. It appears that President Obama is no longer the commander-in-chief of the U.S. military. It appears that Senator John McCain, chairman of the Senate Armed Forces Committee, is the new commander-in-chief of the United States Army and the United States military. That's what it appears to be.
Well, Mike, what is at stake for the United States in Syria?
Besides global prestige and our good standing, our perception of who we are as a people, everything. There are millions of dollars. Here's what you understand. The U.S. is broke. The Western banks are broke. They have over-leveraged themselves. They have bankrupted the piggy bank. They have to go into countries like Libya, like Iraq, like Syria, and steal, asset strip in order to keep funding themselves. That's the business model they're on. They have destroyed the economy in this country. It's no longer productive. And these guys have got their back up against a wall because of their own bad policies. They have screwed up big time.
And how many more countries are they going to drag into this quagmire? And how long is this going to go on for?
Well, I don't know, but they're going to drag on as many as they need. The military-industrial complex needs another war. Remember, the U.S. taxpayer funded $7 trillion in military spending for Iraq and Afghanistan. The military defense contractors became dependent upon that. They have to be able to turn in good quarterly revenues, and so they need another war in order to keep their bottom line profits up. And so they're dragging us into another war. The American people don't want it. The American military does not want it, at least at the enlisted level, do not want it. They're willing to go, but they don't want to go. I've been in conversations with active duty personnel on at least 4 different Army bases here in the past three days, and they do not want to go. They do not wish to participate in this. The U.S. military has no desire to go into another endless conflict into the Middle East here. They just don't want to do it.
Thank you very much. Mike Harris, the editor of Veterans Today, joining us from Phoenix. It was a great pleasure to talk to you.